Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm currently writing a YA fantasy novel and sharing the journey with you. So whether you are a fellow writer working through your current project, or you're just interested in seeing in how someone writes a book, keep watching to see the story unfold. So if you watched my last video, refocusing my writing goals, I did not mean to ramble on for 20 minutes about that. I mean, hopefully I've edited it to something shorter than that. That was supposed to be the start of this writing vlog. I'm starting over. Watch that if you want a detailed explanation of my writing goals. Short version is I am now focusing on completing scenes rather than hitting a certain word count goal. Today is December 11th, 2018, and I wrote 2 scenes. One of them was like a regular length scene, so the one of them was like over 700 words if you want like a ballpark figure. One of them was a really short scene because I had a scene from one character's perspective, but it was a conversation, and so I wanted to quickly turn around and go to the other person's perspective just so you were clear on what they took away from the conversation as well. So like that was like a really short kind of like snippet. But anyway, still counts as 2 scenes because a scene is a scene. So I am very happy with my progress. If you want to know, I wrote 800 words total and I typed them. I did not feel like doing speech recognition. I just was really excited about the scene, so I just wanted to write it. And I actually wanted to talk a little bit. I had debated about whether or not I was going to share my word count because even though, like I said, I'm going away from word count determining like when I stop writing each day, I still feel like a lot of people, when they're doing their writing vlogs, they mention their word count and their word counts are a lot higher than mine, and it makes me feel bad that I feel like I'm writing too slowly, even though, like I said, I have wrist injuries, I can't physically write that much. And I use speech recognition, which gets frustrating because I have to correct it because it mishears words, and I have to talk really loud and really slow, and it's kind of a bit of a frustrating process overall, so I can't really write as much as I would like every day, so I feel like I don't write fast enough, which I know is a silly thing, and that's my own like personal problem. I'm not obviously not putting that on anybody who can write faster and doesn't have problems like I do, but I thought I shouldn't be embarrassed about my word count and maybe someone seeing that, hey, they only write like 500 words a day, sometimes only like 300 words a day. If anybody else is feeling like that is maybe too slow and getting frustrated with themselves, maybe you are busy, maybe you're a college student, maybe you work full time, maybe you have kids, maybe it's any combination of those things and you just don't have the time to write more a day. I figured I should just share what amount that I am actually writing and not be embarrassed about it, because it's okay to not write as much as other people who. So I figured why not just share my progress as is, and if people think I write too slowly, then they'll understand why it's going to take me a while to put out each book. Okay, about a week and a half since I last updated. And please excuse the wet hair, I'm too lazy to blow dry it right now. I keep saying I want to do these regular weekly writing vlogs and all this stuff, and then I forget to update, or I think about it and I'm too tired at the moment. So last we talked, I had 7 scenes I wanted to write before the end of 2018, and I have written 3 scenes, and I have 3 scenes left, which I know does not add up, but that's because I combined 2 scenes into 1 scene because I realized the information that I had to convey in the second of those 2 scenes I could just tack on to the 1 scene because, like, why not? Yeah, so I've actually been doing pretty good, making really good progress, even though I haven't been updating about it. So I'm really, really pleased with my progress. I actually made a schedule and wrote down like what I needed, like the chunks of time I had to write each scene in order to complete everything by the end of the year, and it's been super easy, like ridiculously easy to actually write the scene in the amount of time, because I'm giving myself like 3 to 4 days for each scene, and that has so far been working really well because I've been definitely able to accomplish it, and I also managed to edit like a whole 2 chapters previous, because a lot of times when I write, I just write and then I leave it. And I do like to go back and edit reasonably soon, especially when I use speech recognition, because speech recognition sometimes adds in extra words. It just does weird stuff with the words that won't make any sense at all if I wait too long to go back to it. So I was able to edit this one really long scene that I'd done with speech recognition, and I did find a few more things. I thought I'd went over it, but I apparently missed some stuff, which is really good because that's the sort of thing that could be super confusing if I wait like months and months till I actually finish the book to go back and look at it, and I'll be like, what am I even trying to say here? And that's not what I was trying to say at all. This whole time I've been on chapter 27 because chapter 27 has a lot of character development, like short character development scenes that are necessary to forward people's character, their character arcs. But they've been really, actually pretty fun, cute scenes, so I've been having a lot of fun writing those. I love the cute, fun, happy scenes. They've like flown by, they're so easy to write. The last 3 scenes I have aren't such cute, fun scenes, they're more like dramatic things. The last 2 scenes I have that I want to get done before the end of the year are very kind of intense scenes that should be fun, but sometimes I get tripped up over intense scenes, and I'm going to try not to. And then the one I have to write today is actually a fairly short. It'll probably be a pretty simple scene to write. But I did actually have to go back because this scene is from the point of view of a character that I have in there that I wanted to do something better with him, so I had to add an extra scene to make his story arc make sense. I had to add in an extra scene for that, and that scene I actually added back to chapter 13 to set up for what's going to happen in this current scene I'm about to write right now, and I should go and write that now rather than keep talking about it. So I have finished my writing for the day. I actually finished it a little while ago, but I got distracted by watching random YouTube videos. So I ended up completing the one scene that I wanted to complete, and that ended up being about 550 words. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that might be the end of chapter 27. I'm not 100% yet. I have to look and add up the entire chapter length and see if it's a good length. Now, my next problem is to finish off the section that I'm writing. I have 2 more scenes, but normally I like to separate my scenes out by like the story arcs, and these 2 story arcs normally take place in separate chapters, but I might have to combine them into one chapter, even though they're like, the chapters are normally kind of split up between these different areas in like one country, and then it takes place in another country. I normally don't put those scenes together in the same chapter, but in this case I might have to, because otherwise it'll be 2 probably very short chapters that are probably like, I don't know, maybe like 3-page chapters, which is kind of weird. So I haven't written the scenes yet, obviously, so I don't know for sure. But they'll probably end up being the same chapter, I think. And then I have to decide which one is more important and which one should be at the end. But yeah, I'm super happy with my progress today. I think I'm going to do some video editing. So I did not update yesterday, but I did write a whole nother scene. And this one I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. It's a very important scene. It's like gonna be, this one and the next one are closing out the section that I'm working on. I want it to be like super suspenseful and then very dramatic. I'm not sure if I quite achieved that. I'll have to when I go over and edit it, I'll have to like go over it and like see if there's anything else I can do or if I actually did pretty well. I just felt like it could be more as I was writing it, but you know, the important thing isn't to get everything perfect in your first draft of the scene. I feel the important thing when I'm writing a scene is to get all of the like action that and description that you could possibly think of at the time in there, and then from like that chunk of words I can then go back and fix it how I see fit. But you know, obviously they always say, you can't edit a blank page, so at least something is there that I can work with if I decide that I'm not super thrilled with the scene. But it was 1,120 words. I'm not sure if that's long enough to be its own chapter because, like I said, this scene and the next one are the last ones, and then I want to like break it into the second half of the book. I want to have like that page that says part 2, and then we're going to move on to the next half of the book, even though it's section 6. So it's a little bit over halfway, but it's a good dramatic point. Yes, so today I am super excited because I am on my last scene of section 6, and my goal was to finish section 6 by the end of 2018. It is currently December 23rd, so I'm like a week ahead if I write this one scene today. This is my novel idea notebook. Yeah, so according to my schedule, I had until the 25th or the 26th, so like Christmas or the day after Christmas, to write yesterday's scene. And then what I'm working on today is actually what I had planned for like the 27th to the 31st of the year. So I'm super excited that I'm like so ahead on my goal. I don't know if it's because I've been doing a lot of typing by hand and not doing so much speech recognition because my wrists have been feeling pretty good. I will just say this real quick. When you are coming up with goals for yourself, set yourself a goal that's pretty achievable. I wouldn't say like set one that's like way too easy, like writing 100 words a week or something and then saying that, oh, I've done that, so now I'm free to just waste my time, because then you're not actually going to get anywhere. Set yourself a goal where you're like going to make steady progress, but it's also not going to cause you too much stress to achieve it. And then you'll find, or at least I find, that I start getting ahead of my goal and then I feel really happy and really motivated, and so I do more and more and more, and it like really keeps me wanting to keep working on my project, rather than when I start to feel like I'm going behind and then I fall more and more behind, and then I'm just constantly kind of like stressed and upset that I'm not getting more done. It's better to feel like you're overachieving than it is to feel like you're falling behind. Which may be pretty simple advice, but I'm finding that it's working really well for me so far. And also, if you find that on the other side of this, if you find that you aren't even able to achieve your fairly easy to reach goal, then you just need to take a step back, look at how you are spending your time. But if you're doing something else that you feel like is not helping you, and you would feel better about yourself if you like did writing instead of watching 3 episodes of your like favorite show on Netflix or whatever. I was a long tangent. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful for you and it wasn't something that you've heard 50 million times before. Exciting news! I actually finished my writing goals for the end of the year 1 week early. So 1 week before the end of the year, and I am done with section 6 of my outline for my purple series, book 2. That was about like chapter 28 or so, I believe. And this is also going to be the end of part 1 of the book, because I'm going to have it like be part 1 and then part 2. I'm not going to separate the books themselves. It's just going to be, you know, that thing where you have something. Here's my eye. They have like a page and then it's going to be part 2. That's like the cutoff section because it's a very dramatic conclusion, and I'm so happy that I was able to finish it early because that gives me a week to do some planning for section 7 and also this side plot that doesn't really affect the rest of the story until a good portion into the story. Then there's some stuff revealed that's like, oh, that's what's going on over there. I haven't even started that part, and I think it might be, I'm not sure exactly how many chapters it's gonna be. It might be like 4 or 5 chapters long. I'm not entirely sure. But I have that pretty much planned out. I realized because I found a Word document on my computer that I'd pretty much planned that whole section out. So that's good. I just need to write it. And then I also need to plan out the scene order of of section 7 of my outline, because the way that, I'm going to do a video on the ways that I outline, because that could be its own video. For my outline sections, I don't have the individual scene order planned out. I just have like what I want to happen planned out. So I need to plan the scenes for that, and that'll be all set for planning my 2019 writing goals. So that's going to be it for the end of this vlog. I am super happy with my progress. I can't believe that I actually completed everything early. I guess that just goes to show that when I give myself fairly easy goals to meet, I can get super motivated and meet them. Because I wanted the end of the year goal to actually mean something rather than just being a random word count. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you are writing something or working on a certain project, let me know how you are doing in the comments below. I would love to chat with you. And that'll be all until my next video. Bye!